From South Carolina Public Radio, this is the South Carolina Lead. I'm your host, Gavin Jackson, and this episode was recorded on February 6, 2026 from South Carolina Public Radio Studios here in Columbia. On this episode of The Lead, we have breaking news in this podcast. President Donald Trump has endorsed in one of, if not the most critical statewide race this year. More on that in a moment, folks. More at 11. We also look at major bills that moved this week, including the abortion bill and DUI bill, and what happened to the hemp bill. We also have some committee action for you dealing with a comprehensive data center regulation bill. And also in this podcast, I'm reading the entire thing.
All right.
I didn't feel like cutting a bunch of audio. I didn't have time. Also, check out the State House Gavel at scetv.org/thegavel, where Tuesday through Friday, my instructor and myself bring you recaps, previews, big and small State House moments, meeting schedule highlights, photos, videos, and more. Even more. In fact, some of that's in this podcast. And if you want to be in this podcast, it's easy. Easy. 803-563-7169. You push that in your phone, you call, you listen to our dated voicemail message, and you leave a message. It's a fun thing. You can be a part of the podcast. 803-563-7169. Tell your friends. Okay, let's start with some breaking campaign trail news. I'm getting this right from the teletype, folks. The ticker tape's going crazy. President Donald Trump and Governor Henry McMaster have endorsed a potential candidate for statewide office ahead of a competitive June primary. McMaster on Thursday gave his, quote, full endorsement and support, quote, behind his former agriculture advisor, Cody Simpson, should he run for state commissioner of agriculture. Hold on. What? What is... I was told this was a gubernatorial endorsement? Statewide? What? Okay, well... It's in Trump, too? Oh, okay. Well, I guess it's still very important. It's a constitutional officer, of course. But McMaster said on Twitter, quote, that leader is fifth-generation PD farmer Cody Simpson, and I'm calling on Cody to step up and answer the call to serve as South Carolina's next Commissioner of Agriculture. President Trump appointed Cody to lead the South Carolina Farm Service Agency. Before that, he served as my agriculture advisor. Cody Simpson has the experience needed and, just as importantly, has the knowledge and understanding of the challenges our rural families face, quote. Simpson long served as McMaster's body guy or chief executive assistant before he was appointed by Trump to that position, like the governor just said. Then later on Thursday, Trump posted in part, quote, I am hearing that highly respected MAGA warrior, Cody Simpson, is considering launching his campaign for Commissioner of Agriculture. Should he decide to enter this race, Cody Simpson has my complete and total endorsement. Run, Cody, run, all caps, quote. Now on Facebook, Friday morning, Simpson posted in part, quote, in the coming weeks, I will prayerfully consider the president's and governor's call to determine how I, a fifth-generation South Carolina farmer, can best continue serving the state I love so dearly and help make agriculture great again, quote. A little note, I know Cody very well, even back to his time as student body president at Francis Marion University when I was working at the Florence Morning News. We're talking 15 years ago, folks. Now, he earned an undergraduate and graduate degree in business administration from FMU, and I can say it has been a bit of an open secret that he has wanted to run for ag commissioner since long-serving Commissioner Hugh Weathers announced he was not seeking re-election after 22 years in office. Last March, we reported that Fred West, a self-described seasoned agribusiness leader and lifelong conservative South Carolinian, launched his campaign for State Commissioner of Agriculture with the endorsement of Weathers. Now, West is the former vice president at Amick Farms in Batesburg, Leesville, and retired in 2023. He currently serves as director of market development at the South Carolina Department of Agriculture. And fourth-generation farmer Jeremy Cannon of Clarendon County announced in January he is also running. So wide open, hot primary for SC Ag Commissioner race there, folks. And let's get into our State House recap. We started the week under a winter weather delay. Everything heated up rather quickly under the copper-clad cupola in Columbia. And by that I mean Wednesday was wild, folks. First up, the Senate passed S-52. That's a bill strengthening DUI laws, especially for repeat offenders, by a vote of 45-0. So I guess everyone was happy. That's pretty big. It just took 3 weeks of debate over amendments and compromises. Now, Beaufort Republican Senator Tom Davis authored the bill and said it was a bit of a, quote, atonement in some respects, quote. That's because several years ago, he was cited for public intoxication by police and spent several hours in jail after he pulled his car into a parking lot on New Year's Day after realizing he couldn't drive. He was not charged with the DUI, and that case was expunged. But let's go over to the House.
Come on, guys, let's go.
The House had a marathon Wednesday. I'm talking 9.5 hours. Literally all gas, no lunch, no dinner. We just kept going, which, that's the legislature, guys. Now, in the afternoon, the House voted 81-31, which is mostly along party lines, to pass H 4760, which is legislation that was filed by Judiciary Chairman Weston Newton of Beaufort. Now, that bill would increase penalties for anyone who mails, distributes, transports, and delivers medications to induce abortions without a prescription. It also reclassifies those commonly used abortion medications, mifepristone and misoprostol, as a Schedule IV controlled substance, putting the pills in the same category as Xanax and Ambien, which tightens access to the drugs that are also used to treat miscarriages and postpartum hemorrhages. The bill is very similar to a law that was passed in Louisiana in 2024, which is currently being challenged in court, which is Birthmark v. Louisiana. Now, what did Republicans have to say about this?
You tell me.
Florence Republican Representative Jay Jordan said the legislation's intent was to close a, quote, loophole in the law. At the same time, as many lawmakers noted, reducing abortions by medication would reduce the number of abortions in South Carolina. But for some Republicans, particularly the body's most conservative legislators, the bill did not go far enough, even though efforts to further restrict abortion access beyond our state's 6-week ban have failed. But State Representative Spencer Wetmore, a Charleston Democrat, warned that the reclassification could have dire consequences, particularly for women who need the medications beyond abortion. So that is how that bill moved, and that's over in the Senate now. It's going to go through the committee process over there. We'll see what happens. But again, the House did not stop there. Next, we're moving on to
hemp madness.
The House, again, didn't stop at abortion medication on Wednesday. They went right into the hemp-related bill, H 4759, which would require hemp beverages to be sold in liquor stores. It would restrict the beverages to Delta-9 THC and limit drinks to 5 milligrams THC per 12-ounce can or bottle. That bill would also outlaw sale and possession of other consumable hemp products. Think of your gummies, my suburban mommies, and others. This crosses both sides of the aisle here, folks. And it would also make those drinks Schedule I controlled substances. It would prohibit online sales and shipments into the state with a penalty of up to 3 years in prison or fine up to $3,000. Now, a complete ban bill, H 4758, was also on the calendar, and it remains there because things got sporty. In fact, someone said it was the Parliamentary Procedure Olympics. That's what one lawmaker told me, guys. Move over Milan. Colombia's got a different kind of Olympics. Are you guys even watching the Olympics? I kind of forgot about them. And this resulted in a rare loss for House Republican leadership. Let's talk about this. Now, the bill's supporters argue that treating hemp beverages like liquor keeps the products out of the hands of minors and prevents the wild west of ingredients and potency that exists today. Some of these drinks can be up to 100 milligrams. One of the lawmakers, Chris Wooten from Lexington, brought one can onto the floor. He also had another can that he emptied out, apparently, and put with water and took a sip out of. It was very clever. But he had a 100 milligram can, which I guess would take you to outer space. I don't really know how that works. You astral project, from what I've been told. But there were other members like Greenwood Republican Representative John McCravey who argued against the bill because he wanted more of an outright ban on all hemp products, citing the negative effects of the consumables, especially when mixed with alcohol, which the lead says, do not do that. Lead says no. Now, Democrats and some Republicans, this is bipartisanship here working, they balked at allowing beverages while banning all other products. Republican Representative Gil Gatch of Dorchester said the bill would also shutter 1,800 businesses and affect 3,500 jobs. Gatch partnered with Dorchester Republican Representative Greg Ford, who has only been on the job for 3 weeks, but turned the day with 2 bombshells. A 28-page amendment and his personal story. Ford told his new colleagues that he knew the issue well because he has been a state-licensed grower and processor of hemp. but also a user of hemp products due to his now 24-year-old son, who began suffering life-threatening seizures as a child. He credited hemp products for extending his son's life. For its extensive amendment, again, very rare, usually break amendments down to like 2 pages. This was 28 pages. It was wide. It was very encompassing. It would prohibit the sale to minors like the other bills do, and further regulate and tax the products and allow for up to 10 milligrams in Delta-9 drinks and other consumables. So gummies on the table. Where are my gummy mommies at? Call us. So he introduces that amendment. People know it's coming, and that's kind of when the wheels come off of this debate. Remember, we just had like 4 hours of the abortion pill debate. We're now like 2 hours into this debate. It's a long day. No one's taking a break for lunch. Everyone's a little hangry. I was scarfing down food somewhere. But this amendment failed in a close vote. These don't really happen, guys. It's always, you know how it goes. It's always the supermajority. They all kind of vote together for the most part. But this was a close vote. And it was now clear that that underlying bill was in trouble, blinking red here. And that set off 2 hours of parliamentary wrangling. I'm talking about motions to recommit, then tabling those motions to recommit, then motions to adjourn, then motions to reconsider prior votes. And these were all close votes, which meant people really couldn't leave their desks for too long because there might be another vote. No bathroom breaks. All gas, no breaks, food, bathroom, everything. So these are all mixed in on top of some impassioned floor speeches. Now, again, Representative Weston Newton, who's the chairman of the Judiciary Committee and the bill's sponsor, eventually acknowledged the division and noted that the intent of the bill is to prevent minors from obtaining these products and to protect public safety. He said, quote, "When this goes over to the Senate, this conversation's not over and there will be continued opportunities for discussion," quote. Which also got some people fired up because they hate having to defer to the other chamber and vice versa, the Senate, same way. We got to do it ourselves, etc. So rather than vote to send the bill to the Senate, the House sent the bill back to the Judiciary Committee, where its future is unclear. So you're saying, Gavin, as you're chewing your gummies and drinking your drinks, what's next? What's in the box? Well, again, the House adjourned after a 9-hour day before starting debate on H 4758. That was that other bill to completely ban hemp consumables. So you can tell that one's probably not too popular, so it's still on the calendar. But after the dust settled, on Thursday, we spoke to several House veterans about what the happened on the hemp debate. Because again, we don't really see this kind of wrangling. It's always usually kind of cooked thoroughly before it makes it to the floor. There is some debate sometimes on bills, but never division like that. This is Real Housewives throwing hemp drinks. No, I mean, everyone was very respectful. It was a very good and cordial debate, but it was not something you see. So we were told it was a mixture of confusion, emotion, and a long day, to name a few. A little crossfading going on. So here's what we heard. First, in our conversations with House members, we heard there was some confusion over what exactly the bill did and what it would outlaw, with some believing it would prohibit CBD products. The bill's sponsors said it would not, and an amendment passed onto the bill exempted such products, as some forms have helped South Carolinians who suffer from seizures. Then you add in Ford's 28-page amendment and his personal story about his son's medical issues, and many lawmakers who had not heard that story before were moved. Then you also have a lot of new lawmakers in there, too, who have not experienced all the machinations that we witnessed. So some veteran House members told us that the debate was reminiscent of former House Speaker David Wilkins' era. We're talking like 94 to 2005. That's when bills were heavily debated and changed on the floor as the two political parties were closer in membership numbers. There was no supermajority back then, folks. Now, ultimately, a House Republican caucus bill, which was a priority for leadership, we were told, was discussed before in caucus meetings, and it saw that support collapse on the floor like we're talking about, which frustrated members who thought the bill had more support to push through. So the next question again, is the bill dead? Is it roached? I don't know these terms. It's only February. When you send legislation back to a committee, it's never a good sign, especially in the final year of a 2-year session. But again, we have some other vehicles here that are still warmed up. That includes H 4758, which we know is the all-out ban. And next week, on Wednesday, a Senate subcommittee will take up H 3924, which easily passed the House last year with broad support. That bill requires hemp-derived consumables only be sold in stores with valid alcohol licenses and prohibits sales and consumption to those under 21. And when I was talking to Representative Ford about that bill as being the potential vehicle, he said that didn't go far enough for some folks. The other bill's too far. His, Goldilocks, a good 10 milligrams, some would say. I've been told. We are in the nightmare blunt rotation of legislating, folks. Okay, moving on, and we're almost done, I think. No, okay, no, yeah, we're going to keep going. Now, while those bills are going back and forth, we got some bills on the way to the governor's desk. House and Senate leaders ratified 3 bills, putting them on track to the governor's desk. They are S779, that's the bill to restore lawmakers' $1,000 a month payout for in-district expenses. H3431, which is legislation that would require an online business to exercise reasonable care, the use of a minor's personal data in an attempt to limit psychological harm, among other issues, through better design, time limits, and certain restrictions on content and location data. So really trying to crack down on everyone's screen time there, especially for kids. And S336, which sets the first Wednesday of March for a joint assembly to elect judges. From blunts and joints to data centers. We got the data center down low. Boop, beep, deep, doop, beep. Data centers. You love to hate them, right? I wish we had Marlon Kimpson saying data centers. Data! They have garnered significant attention in the state and across the nation as the somewhat secretive sites that provide the digital backbone to the internet and support the explosive growth of artificial intelligence demands. Now, data centers, while a windfall to local tax bases, especially in rural areas, also puts weight on electrical grids and has posed concerns around a multitude of issues, including water consumption, sound, light, and emissions. South Carolina is not immune. There are 30 of these data centers. One could even be in your own backyard. In fact, more are planned. Marion County Council fast-tracked a fee in lieu of tax agreement for a $2.4 billion data center, also known as Project Liberty, in January. Capital B, a nonprofit news outlet focused on Black communities, recently quoted State Senator Kent Williams of Marion, who is also Deputy County Administrator, in saying that the project could eventually bring in $28 million a year in revenue for the county, which has an annual budget of $25 million. You see what I'm saying here, guys? And it's not like they need a bunch of services, too. They just, need some water and access to the electrical grid and some workers. There's also been another data center proposed in Colleton County. Now, Marion County enjoys proximity to the Great and Little PD rivers. The Colleton Center would be near the protected 350,000-acre Ace Basin, probably like the most beautiful place in South Carolina, in my opinion. In November, Colleton County Council amended its ordinances to add data centers as a special exception to the general land uses within rural communities, including the Ace Basin and its headwaters. On Thursday, a bipartisan group of the Colleton County Legislative Delegation that includes Fish, Game, and Forestry Committee Chairman Chip Campson sent a letter to the County Council urging them to oppose the proposed data center campus on Cooks Hill Road. So with all this going on in the ether, that prompted Senator Tom Davis, again, a Beaufort Republican and chair of the Labor, Commerce, and Industry Committee, to file S867, which is a comprehensive data center bill. I'm going to break it down for you guys. Now, the bill seeks to create a regulatory framework for data centers and forms the so-called Data Center Development Office, the DCDO, that would oversee siting and environmental standards. Then a 10-person Data Center Industry Advisory Committee, DCIAC. That would be a committee of ratepayer and environmental advocacy groups, industry members, local governments, and state regulators who would advise DCDO. You see how that works? DCIAC advises DCDO. Then the Public Service Commission, the PSC, would have jurisdiction over electricity consumption and utility rates. Now, the bill would also mandate, Davis said, that costs associated with energy generation and upgrades related to data centers would not be borne by other ratepayers. Talking about like y'all, residential folks, co-op members, Duke, Dominion, all those people. Under the bill, all data centers would have to adhere to mandatory light shielding, vibration reduction, and sound limit requirements. There would also be required buffers between protected wildlife areas, and there would also be tiers to these data centers based on how much electricity they use. There would be more scrutiny for the biggest users. So how long will this take? Where does this go? TBD, folks. We're keeping that one under wraps because we don't know, just like so much we don't know about data centers. But we got that huge Trump endorsement for Cody Simpson. Welcome to the wind down section, our little break from the news. We're glad you're here along with A.T. Shire lead podcast producer, Proud Papa.
Proud Papa, yeah, I'm so proud. I achieved the parenting trifecta recently. So this is basically what's happened, okay? In a 24-hour period, I've been peed on, pooed on, and thrown up on, okay? And they don't do that just for anybody, you know? Like, you really got to be someone to get that trifecta.
You really
know?
selling parenthood to us?
Yeah, no, it's not that I got cuddled, kissed, and hugged. No. My children would never. No, it's the others.
That's because baby Dom's like, where am I? Who am I?
Yes.
I don't know what to do.
I got to barf somewhere, so it might as well be on you.
Because he's eating so he can't stop himself.
This child is hungry. He lives hungry, you know? He's literally a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde.
I can relate.
He's so mild-mannered. He sleeps through all of Rena's noise. Yeah, a honk shooing so well.
Feather.
But there's a feather going up and down. And then when he's hungry, he goes ballistic, and there is no calming him down. He goes wild. And then he eats so much that he throws up on you after he's peed and pooed on you. So it's a lot going on in the Shire household. But Gavin, you've got a lot going on.
I got a lot going on too. I'm in an avocado ripening cycle.
Same. We're talking about the same thing, I feel like.
I hope our listeners are also on the two extremes here. Like, all the dual income, no kids, and the family with 2 kids. You know how hard it is to get a ripe avocado. Am I right, folks?
What tiny window.
There's a small window, and then I've been also, you force them, and then you also kind of keep them cold, depending on how many avocados are in the house at any given moment.
Yeah. So what's your strategy, Gavin?
So I'm in this great place right now where I've gone back to Costco.
Yeah.
And all their avocados are hard as rocks when you get them.
Sure.
Okay, great, I'll take it. And then sometimes I go to Aldi, huge, massive warehouse, or utilitarian Euro grocery store.
Where
there's no in between.
The avocados you're getting from Aldi.
They're a little right.
They need to be eaten 15 minutes ago. Yeah, absolutely.
I'm in a great place right now.
I'm so happy
I'm eating half an avocado with like every meal.
Think of the healthy fats.
I think so. I don't know. I know. But
it's
then
fine.
It's also,
put an egg on that. It's good.
I mean, I'm having 4 eggs for breakfast with a half an avocado and a handful of cherry tomatoes.
There you
with
go.
A whole thing of oatmeal too. I'm in this place where I make this elaborate breakfast every morning.
He's pro nightshade, folks.
Because, you don't know when you're going to have a marathon day and be like, oh, God, please.
That's how you keep from being hangry like that.
A lot of meal prep. I've also been doing I've also got the whole 3-pack of grass-fed ground beef from Costco.
Yeah.
It's a good price. But
I don't love generic ground beef.
Organic, 85%.
Tell me
85%.
the cut. Tell me the cut. I want to know that it's ground sirloin or ground something like that.
Ground it seems a little bit more
ground beef. That's not what I'm not interested in that personally.
Yeah, it's okay. It does the job for me.
No, it's okay.
So I've been making. But I have new enjoyment in my life too because
what are you beefing?
I'm making a meat sauce,
a bolognese or ragu.
Just I guess ragu.
Okay,
it's red. Does that
chunky?
Help? I do I really just saute the hell out of an onion. Oh, you got to see this onion, a bunch of garlic.
Okay.
And then we put the meat in, we let it do its thing. After I really just cook the hell out of the onion.
You cook it for a long time.
And then I put my my meat in there, then I get some red wine in there.
Sure.
And then I got my sauce, I got my crushed tomatoes and stuff. You're not going to like the pasta I use because I use that the plant-based higher proteins.
Yeah, those are disgusting.
But when you mash it all in that thing, my whole pan is just overflowing. It's brimming.
Sure.
I need to start using the big pot. I'm just going to have to do it and become like a Nona. A Nona?
Nona. Not for nothing. It's a Nona.
I want to be Nona to your children.
Okay.
Can I be their Nona?
Sure, absolutely.
Even though I have no cooking ability like you.
As long as you travel with a wooden spoon and are willing to hit kids with it, you can be a Nona.
Totally.
Yeah, you can be a Nona.
So, and I just season the heck out of it too. The hell out of it. And
hey, we can say that. We're all adults.
That's been my. So 1 week I'm doing like the meat sauce pasta.
Yeah.
The next week I'm doing these thick cut pork chops from Costco.
Those are good.
I'm like, whoa! I've been air frying those it's just
very good.
I'm alternating. Then I get some fish in there. My tin fish, of course.
Of course.
And I got a 20-pound bag of jasmine rice.
Not bad. Not bad.
15.
My only notes on the sauce, Gavin.
It definitely needs some more love, but it works.
With the onion, go celery carrot also.
Yeah, sometimes
get your mirepoix going.
So to that end, when I'm also doing my my chicken thighs for the week too, I put them in the Instapot.
Yeah.
Put a bunch of water in so I can get stock from it too, which I sip on. But I also put my carrot, my celery in there too, with the onions, and then I drain that. And sometimes I take those guys.
Well, they're
put 'em
used
in
up.
the sauce.
They're used up.
I know, but they just, I feel like I'm doing something good.
Sure,
for
but
the
yeah, get you a trinity going on in your start, and that's good. That's my only note.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm going to be your Nona for your children.
That's right. Well, if you're going to be a Nona, you got to put some pork ribs in there too, and some meatballs.
Gotta get a wicked hunch going.
Yeah,
too.
yeah, and arthritic hands.
So all those things have been bringing me joy in between the long days and the just constant. I mean, it's just.
Oh, I'm glad that I'm not the only one going through it.
Yes, we're in different cycles right now.
I just hope your avocados aren't keeping you up at night like mine is. But Gavin, please.
I have to go. I gotta go. They're ripening right now.
Correct. The ripe. Currently, we have to go. Please say the credits, Gavin. Have a good weekend, everybody.
Thanks, y'all. Give us a shout at 803-563-7169. Let us know what rotation you're in right now. Is it avocados? Is it family planning? Let us know, 803-563-7169. And you can always stay up to date with the latest news on SCETV.org and SouthCarolinaPublicRadio.org. And don't forget to support your local newspapers. The South Carolina Lead is a production of South Carolina Public Radio. Our producer is A.T. Shire. Amy Crouch is our supervising producer. Shaw Birch is our executive producer. This podcast is produced with support from PRX and is made possible in part by a grant from the John S. and James L. Knight Foundation, as well as listener contributions to the ETV Endowment of South Carolina. For the South Carolina Lead, I'm Gavin Jackson. Be well, South Carolina. Does Sean have a tie on?
No.
Oh, I feel like I just saw a tie.
I feel like I saw a tie.